All right, welcome in North American College Championship Day 3. Let's get this started. We are live from Seattle, Washington. I am Evans Clinchy, joined by Matt Canick. Matt, how's it going?
It is going great, man. I'm so excited I could jump in and do the last half of this tournament. Just some of the names in this field are so fun to watch. Obviously, Dave Wiegand has had a tear to start things here. And man, there are just so many good players in this room. It's crazy to see the records of some of these players because, well, when you've got this many good players, somebody's got to lose. But if I had to guess, Dave Wiegand will not be doing much more losing today. We'll see if I'm right.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing much losing yet. He is first place in the tournament all alone at 12 and 4, the only 12. And he's going to be facing here Kevin Fraley, who's in second place with 11 wins and 5 losses. So, top two players in the standings going head to head. This should be exciting.
Absolutely, yeah. Tell us a little bit more about Kevin Fraley. What's the profile on him?
Yeah, he's not somebody that I'm super familiar with either, but I actually met him this weekend. But yeah, he's been playing great this weekend on stream. We've been watching him quite a bit. I think there were some really cool bingo finds in the game that Conrad and Sam broadcast of his yesterday. I think he played side body and a couple of other like cool bingos. So he's a guy with some crazy deep word knowledge who can bust out some pretty fun plays, much like Mr. Wiegand himself here. This should be a fun matchup.
Word knowledge out the wazoo in this game. If you've ever played anagrams with Dave Wiegand, you know just how deep his vocabulary goes and how long those words are and how right he is immediately every time. Speaking of right here, Evans, are you thinking Dave's going to play short, something like YE, keep the bingo prone lead, or do you see longer options for him?
Interesting question. I mean, you could play Emery, Emery would be 28 points, and then just something like Yi would be only 10. So it's kind of a classic long versus short opening dilemma. And it seems to me like the two options are pretty close in value.
I could definitely see Dave going either way with this play. It kind of depends on your mood and what you expect to draw, I suppose. Maybe play your opponent a little bit. So Dave opting for the short play here, leaving 18 points on the table to keep a very strong EIMRS lead. Let's see where that goes for him. Two tiles, and this could go make or break. The I, not what he's looking for. The J, not either. So Dave gonna miss on his bingo after leaving 18 points on the table. Can't feel good.
Yeah, not a great draw, fishing two tiles and drawing JI, but he'll figure something out for sure. Interesting rack for Kevin here, too. Seeing words like phobia right away.
Fovea stands out. That FY hook going to be very helpful for him. I think Fovea or maybe Fave going to be the options for him here.
Yeah, sounds about right. Not a lot else to consider besides those two moves. They score 30 plus and nothing else is even close.
Yep. So when you've got a way to shed the three worst tiles on your rack, FOV, and score 33 points in the process, it's generally what you're going to do in the game of Scrabble. This Kevin, he's taking a lot of time on this turn. He's probably trying to decide: do I keep things a little tighter with Fave, or do I just play Fovea, string this board wide open? Evans, if you're playing Dave Wiegand, would you prefer a tight board or an open board?
I mean, I'm a little bit masochistic, so I just swing things open and let him punish me. But don't do as I say, not as I do. I'm telling you, you should not play like that, but that's how I play. Um,
Yeah, a big decision to make for Kevin, a big philosophical one. And after your opponent has just opened with the two tile Yi play, you've got to have him pegged on good bingo prone stuff. So to string that A and Fovea into a double double line, giving hooks, Foveal, Fovier as well, not something you're looking to do. If Dave did hit his fish, he's definitely got a bingo and it's going to score a lot after a play like Fovea. So Kevin looking to maybe keep things tight here. FAE, what he's set up now. I don't think you can play FAE, but maybe FOE.
yeah, it seems like a pretty big equity sacrifice keeping a clunky leave with the V in it, but he's going to think about it a little bit at least. I think you got to just take your chances and not play too scared. I think that there probably are some situations where players lose games against players of Dave Wiegand's caliber because they are playing a little bit too scared. And when you sacrifice points or sacrifice leave value or sacrifice some other thing of value because you're afraid to give Dave an opening, he'll just find a way to beat you otherwise without that opening. So like you've got to play your best game and just hope for the best, even if you do feel a little bit, I don't want to say outmatched because Kevin's a great player too, but you just don't want to be living in fear of somebody like Dave because that'll only help him.
Yeah, Dave, a world-class player, and everybody's surely aware of that. Kevin's going to make an interesting choice here. He's leaving a lot of points on the table. This is 25 as opposed to 33 in the other spot. So a big sacrifice to avoid giving up hooks. I think I like the idea, but maybe I wouldn't pull the trigger on it in this situation. Granted, I know Dave missed his bingo, and Kevin can't know that, but interesting turn there for sure. I'll never know what the right answer is. I'm too stupid to figure these things out, but I'm sure y'all at home have some thoughts as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's true that you are too stupid, but I don't know. I think we can agree that 8 points is quite a bit to give up. It was 25 rather than 33. Maybe even you were smart enough to realize that that's a lot to give up.
I don't realize a lot of things, but Quackle did the math for me, and I appreciate the AI assistance in helping even morons like me assess situations in this game.
Yeah, it's good to have some artificial intelligence when you don't have any real intelligence.
Correct. But hey, the robots are going to enable even fools like me to exist in this world. So I, for one, salute our robot overlords and embrace the future.
Absolutely.
Geez, what Dave? What are you even gonna do out of this rack? I'm sad. I don't even want to look at it. IJ, you play emoji through the O and Fovea, I guess.
Yeah, those seem like reasonable options. Yeah, emoji. By Roji keeping EIMS, but that's 6 points less.
Yeah, I guess it's just a question of Roji emoji, or maybe if you're really into it, like just a one tile J fish, play JO and see how often EIIMRS is going to hit. But that's too much thinking for me. Dave's going to play Roji.
It does set up as M. There are a lot of bingos starting with M. You could get a high scoring play there right above that I in Roji.
Yeah, and that M sneaky to play above the Y and I as well. So if he misses,
Yeah,
he'll at least have a high scoring play. I like this from Dave. Smart. But Dave has been known to be good at Scrabble.
very true. So he hasn't gone a bingo, but he has drawn the K, which could score pretty nicely. A word like Ariki or Reiki, if that I is left open.
Ooh, Kevin's picked up the L to hook Fovea, which he played last turn, and he's going to have lots of good options, or one might say a lot of good options, as LOTTA plays beneath that.
Ooh, nice, yeah.
Points.
I think we've seen the word Lotta already this weekend, and it was a pivotal, turning point in what I think was Pete Armstrong's game yesterday, where he played Lotta in a really tight pre-end game situation, and it didn't work out for him. Another Lotta sighting here this morning. Okay.
And since we're setting the stage for the day, Evans, tell us a little bit more about the format of this tournament. What's going to happen today, and what's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah, great idea. So the format of this tournament is 24 preliminary rounds followed by a playoff on the final day. So the first 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're doing 8-8-8 for a total of 24. And then after 24 rounds, we're going to cut to a playoff where the top 4 players compete in a final 4 tomorrow, Monday. So currently, Dave and Kevin are both in the top 4. They are, in fact, first and second in the standings. And so if they continue to hold that position, they will be in the playoffs come tomorrow. Dave's currently in first at 12-4. Kevin is in second at 11-5. And currently the next 2 players up are Colton Kaler and John O'Loughlin, both 10-6. But there's a whole bunch of players at 8 or 9 wins that are giving chase, and it's going to be a really close race all the way. We got 8 rounds to go before we know who makes our final 4 tomorrow.
So that is the goal for these players, not first place, but be in the top 4 by the end of today. And if you're Dave, if you're Kevin atop these standings, every player underneath you is going to be gunning for you, knowing you've got to go probably 2-6 to miss these playoffs and open up one more spot. So their first game today against each other, but they're going to have targets on their backs all day. And Dave, no stranger to that pressure.
Yeah, I think Dave's going to be just fine performing under pressure. He's done it many times.
Confirming the format of the playoffs, it's going to be a best of 3, and then another round of a best of 3 for the winners.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also a best of 3 third place match. So we'll have 2 matches going on at all times in Division 1, and then also 2 matches in Division 2 to determine the Division 2 champion.
And what is at stake?
Thank you for asking. First prize will be $3,000 U.S. currency.
$1,000 US. Man, I could certainly use some of that right now.
Yeah, no, couldn't we all? All right, looks like Lotta is going to come down from Kevin. That's a nice play.
And that's a lot of dough at stake as well.
Nice.
Kevin, for being right on cue. We do actually plant earpieces in these guys' ears so that they can contribute to the stream by timing their plays correctly.
Ooh, the bad news for Kevin is that by playing Lotta, he has given Dave a bingo.
Ouch. Yeah, mistake made, if you catch the drift. Is that the
Yeah.
bingo that we're talking about? I think so, right?
Yeah. Mistaker is available through the T in Lotta. So inadvertently, Kevin has given Dave a spot to bingo.
And KAIM also plays for 41. It's like ERS is not a leave with a blank or anything, but it is a very strong leave. You almost want to consider bypassing the bingo here. I don't think it's worth it. Mistaker is 73, Kame is 41, but that's close, surprisingly close.
It's a little close. I think it depends on how confident you are that your bingos are going to play and that they're going to score well after ERS. I would say this is maybe a little bit of a below average board for like bingo juiciness, but I'm not sure.
Hey, after you play Kame, though, you set up bingos ending in ES with Yoke.
Ooh, okay.
So you're setting yourself up. I still think you've got to play the bingo here, but sometimes Scrabble, you don't just instantly play the bingo. It's also got other really high scoring options for non-bingos, but those keep terrible leads. Makers is 55, but you're not going to hold an eye when you get bingo. So Dave finally gets to unload. He's been fishing for this bingo a couple turns. Better late than never. He is going to have it because of that exposed T and Lotta. 73 points for Dave puts him ahead 105 to 52. He's now doubled up on Kevin, who is facing 7 consonants. Yuck.
Not a great draw for Kevin at all.
Terrible swing for him.
Now the question is, do you play through? Do you just exchange? There's a lot of pretty weak scoring plays. Things like Gent for 7, Ting for 8. These are not appetizing.
No, they are not. And yet, if you're not scoring points this turn, you're falling even further behind. But if you are scoring points, you're gambling and leaving 4 consonants on your rack. So this is tough. Collins does take an additional back hook on Gent, takes a Y. So GENTY would be set up in addition to setting up Kevin's own S. Dave, very nice draw. Thank you for the content. We appreciate it.
Dave, one of the best players in the world, both at Scrabble and at trolling us on the stream. Just a world-class guy all around. What can you say?
We have certainly played our share of phonies, Dave and I, at different breweries across Central Texas. And Dave is a 2,000 rated phonies player as well, demonstrating his deep word knowledge on the stream for us as well.
I see Wanderer 15 in chat. Who is Wanderer 15? He says, Dave Wiegand, you have been canceled. So it's official. Dave Wiegand canceled. Spread the word.
Dave has been canceled. You read it here. And let's go ahead and cut the video stream on the left side to continue with the cancellation. We don't need that content anymore.
Yeah. Congratulations, Kevin Fraley. You're in first place now because the previous first place holder has been canceled.
That is a very interesting strategy, and one I'm surprised hasn't been explored more by other players. Just cancel your opponent, and then then you don't have to worry about it.
Alex in chat says the longer he lets it sit there like that, the more it'll start to look valid to him. I'm pretty sure Dave knows that bumhole is not actually a word, but who knows?
So Kevin,
I was wondering if Kevin was going to play this. He plays Gent, setting up his S.
One other neat option for Kevin was through AYES, he could play Grayest. It would hold 2 ends, but it scored much better. But I love the aggressiveness here. You're down, set up the S, take a gamble. Dave doesn't have one of the last 2 unseen, and see what happens.
Yeah, you're already down by 50 or so. You need to kind of take some risks, give yourself a chance to catch up. And this is the right kind of risk. It's a calculated one. You're playing the percentages. You've got the S. Your opponent might not. Oh, Kevin has shown horribly again, though. That is unlucky.
That is not the right draw for Kevin. Good play. Bad execution on the draw.
Yeah, big mistake by Kevin there, not drawing better.
Yeah, rookie move. And hopefully he can learn from this mistake in the future and avoid drawing 7 consonants for 2 consecutive turns.
Yeah, that was just a bad idea to do that.
Poor execution. Poor thought.
So Dave looking through that bumhole for a play he can actually put on the board. The word humble looks pretty appealing here. You can play that in the hot spot above Roji that we talked about for 43. There's also the very nice word Humlie, Humlie, that plays through the I up from the triple.
Oh wow, that's 40. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Humble and Lee, both awesome options. Or if you want to hold on to a consonant, Lumbi plays down to that I as well for 36.
A lot of options.
A lot of options. It's amazing what happens when you do have some vowels on your rack and you can actually like spell words that get more than 7 or 8 points.
I find Scrabble to be a better game when there are both consonants and vowels in it, not just one or the other. But that's just me.
I wonder how cursed it would be to rig a bag with 100 vowels and just play like that way.
Yeah.
Fun
I
variant.
thought about just going to one of the tile bags in the playing room and just taking out the 12 E's, leaving all the rest of the tiles but just no E's. I thought that
like
might be fun to just like watch somebody's reaction, but I didn't go through with it.
Well, hey, maybe at the next Coco tournament we can add in some house rules. No E's. 74 vowels in the bag.
Sounds great. New Orleans, let's go.
New Orleans. Everything is valid in New Orleans. So just one more thing to add to the debauchery. Humble to play, 43 points for Dave, and he extends his lead now up 148 to 59 as Kevin for the second straight turn stares down hot garbage. He's done looking at this. Exchange 5 immediately. Can't blame him.
Certainly not. Just the ST. I might have gone RST, but I can understand just the consonant averse feelings you must have at this point in time, so can't blame him.
Yeah, I probably would have gone RST as well, but hey, the Y is going to be really important to hit that Gen T hook. So turn over an extra tile, try to draw a Y is not a bad option either. DENOPTV for Dave. He's got the D to play behind Humble, but he's not got compelling options to make it worth it. Maybe just DEV and Humble keeps things rather tight, but that gent hook is just sitting there and it is scary. And Kevin just exchanged, so he's got to have some vowels this time. You know, there's got to be a 40 or 50 point play coming there if we don't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's always a maddening situation when there's like some really juicy spot open and you just can't do anything about it. You're just stuck with it. And I feel like in this situation, that's kind of where Dave's at. You can't really do anything about gent. It's just going to sit there.
But what if you open a second spot? What if you play Dovin or Devin and expose that triple word square? Then Kevin's got to pick one. Do you play through your N and Dovin and hit the triple? Or, you know? So if you have one spot that you can't hit, why not just make a second spot and then trade with your opponent? Kevin's going to keep things tight, though. Just Dev, the original suggestion I made. That makes a lot of sense. And
yeah, I like it.
We're continuing to play Scrabble here, folks. Sorry, Dave. Dave played Dev. That's what happened.
And Kevin has some vowels, but they're not like the best vowels ever. He's still kind of struggling to draw anything he can work with here.
I mean, at least he did get his vowels, so like kudos to him, but probably IIU, not the vowels he was hoping to draw. So
yeah.
Bleh.
So one option is to play from that K and mistake, or you can play Kief, Kief. That does block the gent spot that we've been talking about, but just equity wise, it's pretty strong.
Both of these guys are avid listeners of Chief Keef as well, so it would be a good play. Just kidding. I doubt either one of these guys even knows who Chief Keef is.
You'll have to enlighten us all.
Oh, just a rapper.
Gotcha. All right, so Dave has drawn the first blank. He's got a pretty potent rack to go with it. I didn't even mean to make a pun. He does almost have potent. He's one letter off from that.
Yeah, it was like, Evans, that's not what he has, but you're just...
I was just using a normal word in conversation. Sometimes people can just speak without making puns. It is possible.
Sorry, I'm fully embracing the dad joke role. I am only capable of making puns and bad jokes at this point in time.
At all other points in time. Each pun is its own reword, says Adam in chat. Okay, each pun is its own reword.
Excellent. Excellent. We will be here all day, folks. Actually, I'll only be here for the first 4 games today. Thank God for all of you.
Yeah, me too.
They've got better people coming in for the afternoon, like probably Conrad or somebody.
Probably Conrad or somebody. We've got a rotating cast of characters and possibly some like even more special guests joining. I'm trying to line some things up. We had some surprise out of town visitors pop in on us last night who might stick around for a bit. But
Ooh.
I'll just keep the teaser extremely vague for now because I don't want to confirm anything I can't confirm yet. All right, what's Kevin doing here? Looks like he's got IEF lined up on his rack, so possibly something like Keef or maybe he can play Fief into the F and Fovial on the left side.
Yeah, I mean, you just because we have Quackle open, you've got to play Keefe here, but he really doesn't want to knock out that dangerous gent spot that he just made available. You'd love to open another quadrant to the board or not knock out your most potent spot, and yet you've just drawn so poorly for the third consecutive turn. Like, I guess you just have to take it away. And Kevin reluctantly agrees, but you can't leave too many points on the table when you're already staring down this deficit. You've got to roll the dice and hope you pull a Mistakers bingo next turn.
Yeah. He is kind of within striking distance where if he does draw a really good bingo next turn, he can get back into the game a little bit. So it's not hopeless for him, at least from his perspective. But little does he know that Dave's about to bingo right in his face. So
in his face. Post-turn or Pronist coming down the two sevens Dave has where that blank is an S. He's going to have choices after Keefe to decide where to play it. He can play it post-turn and Keefe's. That'll be his highest scoring bingo. 83 points, but opens a triple in a game he's already up by. He'll be up about 200 after the bingo, so he'll have a decision to make. I don't know what the right thing to do here is, but Dave probably does, and he'll figure it out and enlighten us all. Pronist and Mistakers would be the more defensive bingo that's available for 76. So do you sacrifice 7 points to avoid exposing the triple? I think so, but I'm not very good at this game.
I think that's the kind of decision that really depends on the score line and just how much you're ahead by. I think at this number, up by whatever it is, 91, that might be the right number where you do pass out the triple, just because that's the most likely way he can beat you at this point. I wouldn't be giving up 7 points like that all the time, but maybe in this situation, it's called for.
Yeah, if it's a tie game, I take the points. If I'm up 2,
sure.
I take the points and rack up spread. But exactly in this situation where I could lose if you actually have it, that's, I think, exactly the right score where you don't pull the trigger on this bingo. We'll see if Dave agrees.
We've been talking about Dave all weekend long as a pretty fearless player, typically. He doesn't, give up points very often because he's, fearing a certain comeback or whatever. But this might be the right situation to apply a little bit of finesse here. He's clearly giving something some thought. He's not going with his instincts right away necessarily.
It's a tough decision and one that's going to shape the rest of the game and shape this board. You really want to take your time as everything probably hinges on this turn. I think the placement of the bingo, I think for years I watched top Scrabblers very consistently just take the highest scoring bingo if there was any ambiguity. But we watched Will Anderson have a ton of success at the World Championships by intentionally foregoing additional points many different times when he had a lead just to shape the board exactly as he wanted and avoid disaster. I think it's a thing people don't do enough, and I think it's a thing that we're going to start to see a little more frequently in competitive play as so many people wisely model their games after what Will is doing. He's so freaking good at this game. We'll see what Dave does, though, because Dave's also really freaking good at this game, and he's going to play the defensive bingo here. Pronist is going to come down. You see the life leaving Kevin's face as he has now dug himself a 200-point hole, and he's just very sad. But sometimes Scrabble sucks.
Sometimes. If Kevin does come up short in this game, it's going to be the end of a long winning streak for him. He went 8-0 yesterday, capping it off with a win over Wiegand in the final game on the stream, in which he played really well. So Kevin's been on quite a run, but sometimes you just get hit with a really tough game against a really tough opponent, and there's not much you can do.
Yeah, this is where I start thinking about the standings if I'm Kevin. Am I really pulling out all of the stops? I could play something like Oribi, O-R-I-B-I, through the B and Humboldt. I could extend Dev to Devour. Am I really desperate to open this board and try to give myself a fighting chance? Or do I just roll over and die and try to keep most of my spread intact and move on to the next game? What would you do in this situation, Evans? Would you play Oribi, go big or go home? Or would you roll over and die?
I'm a roll over and die kind of guy, to be honest with you.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I think in a situation like this, how much are you down by? Sorry, I didn't commit the score after Pronus. That is my bad. It's 254 to 87. That's the actual score. At this score, I mean, you're in pretty bad shape, and even against a bad opponent, this game's hard to win. But against somebody like Dave Wiegand, it's really, really, really hard to win. You do want to conserve your spread. You do want to conserve your brain power by not just like killing yourself trying to win a game that's unwinnable. Um, I would.
sorry, I just realized Orabi would actually give Dave a triple triple too. He'd have you social for like friggin'
Oh my god.
team rollover and die 1, team go big or go home 0 in this situation.
Most definitely.
Please play Orabi now, Kevin. I'd love to see the content. You think Dave like drops a mic, looks at the camera, and just picks up a microphone from somewhere and drops it?
Something like that.
Oh, geez. Well, what an awesome game to start things off. Kevin just draws like the worst stuff I've ever seen, and we're gonna have a 300-point drubbing here. Oh my God, he's done it.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
Oh, I'm seeing a
Kevin,
lot of don't do it in chat.
I love the thought. Go big or go home. I'm a fan of it. Dave's gonna play you social in like 3 seconds. Here it comes. He's grabbed the E already and the U. He sees it. There can't
Oh my god!
bingo. And here it comes. My goodness.
You can just see the embarrassed look on his face. Like, I'm so sorry, but I have to do this to you.
Yeah, my God.
It even doubles the C, so it scores 158.
Yeah, there's not a better option than that. My God. Okay. Somebody text Kevin some love and support, man. He needs it after this. This is killer. And he's going to draw friggin' like G, L. Yeah, the consonants are back. Awesome.
Hey, thoughts and prayers to the whole Fraley family. This is
going to be
this
tough.
is brutal.
God, yikes. And this is the Dave Wiegand experience. I feel like every single game I've played, I'm just down 400 to 100 after like 3 moves, and I'm wondering why I even like showed up to this tournament in the first place.
And I want to be clear, Kevin has done nothing wrong. Like, he's played this game totally fine. I like pretty much all of his moves.
If Kevin had looked in the tile bag and like not drawn a bunch of consonants for 6 turns, I think he would have had better luck in this game. But I love the plays he's been making this game. Maybe Fovea a little bit questionable, but I love.
Yeah, that's the only one. Yeah.
And Kevin is not going to open another triple all tournament after Orabi backfired on him so horribly. But I love the thought. He's done nothing wrong. You're right. Just can't draw the stuff.
It's a situational thing. You can open triples against some players, like a Matt Canick type, but not against a Dave Wiegand kind of player.
Yeah, you know a lot about beating Matt Canick, don't you? You're an expert.
Oh, that's right. I know nothing about that.
Yeah, you've never beaten him.
I forgot.
Play Collins. Yeah, you just suck.
You're ducking me in New Orleans, though, so
I am.
You're not giving me a chance to beat you.
I have not. It wouldn't be the first time if someone convinced me on Bourbon Street at 3 a.m. to switch my registration to Collins like 4.
Oh, okay.
It's happened before.
Noted.
And I'm known to be cheap to convince. I just graduated from grad school with a lot of student debt, so if you buy me enough beers, maybe I will play in your preferred lexicon and give you my rating points.
Sounds like a plan.
Matt Canick, cheap to convince. If we weren't on stream, I'd say my real thoughts about that, but that's all right.
We'll talk later. Meanwhile, stop me if you've heard this one before. Kevin is drawn terribly. It's just, what is he doing with these letters? STUGLNS.
Can you just like play slung and keefs and lose? I'm team rollover and die at this point. I guess you can try to play gulp and set up your S, play gulp to the P and pronist. I don't know. I think you just lose. Yeah. The real question is, do you keep opening the board in gentlemen's to let Dave try to have 600 or 650, or do you just close it and lose?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you can just, I guess, start thinking about spread points. I don't think you need to help Dave Wiegand score 600 points in a game. If he wants to do it, he'll find a way to do it on his own.
When Dave doesn't score 600 points, it is because he doesn't want to do it. Like Dave
yeah.
would have if he wanted to, and he was just playing with you.
The look on Dave's face as Kevin plays NUS is just priceless.
Like, well, now I'm going to play Kof for 9,000.
Jeez.
Oh my God. I think that's actually a true story. We see in chat, Matthew Tunnicliffe says, Dave once scored 600 points in a game of chess. I think that one's annotated as well. You can check it out. For those a little less adept on the sarcasm with us today, that was sarcasm. Oh my God, Kevin, what did you do? Did you draw a bingo?
Oh, he would never.
Oh, it's not going to play though, right? Oh, it is going to play. It is going to play. Oh, Kevin. Oh, Kevin, let's go.
Wow. Just to recap, Kevin's scores each turn this game have been 25, 27, 7, 0, 28, 14, 19. So 120 in 7 turns. At this point, any bingo at all has got to look incredible to him.
Hey, we're going to get to 200. We might even scratch 300 this game. And the way he's drawn the first few turns, that is a consolation prize. I guess he's going to be happy to have.
All right, score should be updated in just a moment. It's going to be Dave 456, Kevin 196, a 260-point lead for Dave Wiegand.
And it's his turn.
And it's his turn. And he's got heavy point scoring consonants.
On a board where you can score heavy points with those consonants.
Everything's coming up, Wiegand. Highest scoring play here takes advantage of that Y hook on Gent that we talked about earlier. You can play Defy for 40, but the leave would be NNPW.
He's going to bingo if he keeps that.
Swan pans.
Yeah, pawning.
Kevin has drawn the X, so he can at least score a few more points on that journey to 300.
Ooh, nice job, Kevin. Better late than never.
Points are good. Points help you score more points than your opponent, which is the object of the game.
Wait, one more time? What are you trying to do in Scrabble?
Yeah, score more points than the points that your opponent scores. That is actually, that's the goal.
Is that why I keep beating you? Because I get more points than you?
Somehow, yes. That is what has happened.
Awesome.
I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense, but yes.
Interesting. I'll try to not do that in the future. I'll get less points.
There you go. Much better.
I know one time I was playing Evans and I had like 600 points and my last rack was 10 wares and I missed it, but I still beat him by like 300. Do you remember that one, Evans?
I do remember that one. It was a very, very painful time for me.
I think that was the first time we played and the day you decided you hated me.
It was a long time ago and I've, like 12, 13 years and I've hated you ever since.
Yeah.
All right, pawn comes down from Dave, keeping the superior leave rather than going for points.
Yeah, he's holding Defy, and I helps him hit Deify or other stuff. So the Genty spot's still available. I think he's just addressing the most dangerous spot. You know, a play like Latex above Latigos is exactly what you don't want to let Kevin do. So just be boring, win the game. Again, Dave, with this play, indicating I could have scored 600 if I wanted to, and I'm just being a merciful Dave here.
So Kevin is knocking on the door of 200. See if it lets him in.
We'll see. Yeah, I believe he can get there. He's going to need to score just 4 points this turn, and a player of Kevin's caliber, I think he's going to be able to do that. There's
a chance. Unfortunately, his best X spot just got blocked, so he's going to have to look for a worse one. I guess he does have packs from that P for 25. That's one option.
Yeah, you can do that. In this situation, you can make almost any play you want. Your win percentage is still 0 because Dave has obliterated you.
You've been bingled, which is what Dave has spelled out on his rack.
Bingled. Dr. Bingle. For those of you just hopping into the stream, coming over maybe from a Wanderer 15 video or a Will Anderson video on YouTube, or just hopping in from however you found us, welcome. This is the North American Collins Championship brought to you by Coco. I'm Matt Canick, joined by Coco President Evans Clinchy. Is that your official title?
I'm the chairman of the board, but whatever. I'm the person that does things. It's fine.
Coco person who does things, Evans Clinchy, the brains behind a lot of this operation here. We have 8 more games of Scrabble today, and semis and finals tomorrow. So 3 days of Scrabble followed by 1 day of semis and finals. We got 7 more games of Scrabble, and I promise you they're going to be more exciting than this one. This is one of the worst I've seen in a minute.
Yeah. This one just kind of got out of control from the beginning. Not much you can say. Like, Kevin tried his best, but just drew pretty terribly for several consecutive turns, and Dave just went bingo, bingo, triple, bingo, and not much you can do.
Yeah. So we are going to sit here and make jokes for the remaining time. If I were Kevin, I would already be out the door. I would have insta-played the rest of this game in like 4 seconds so I could leave. But good on Kevin trying to maximize his spread, even in a game where he has been absolutely drubbed by the tile bag.
Yeah, pretty brutal. I tend to, in situations like this, just think about conserving my brain power for the rest of the tournament. Especially in a tournament like this where you're playing 8 games a day, you really don't want to overexhaust yourself mentally by thinking too hard about a position that's already losing. But Kevin, finding good plays to his credit.
Yep, Pax play and a good draw here. He would bingo one more time, but I don't know that Kevin's got a good draw in him. He used it up getting his 1 bingo. He's just going to draw bad this game. For those of you brand new to this, maybe hopping into your first Scrabble stream, Evans, can you tell us just a little bit more about the man, the myth, the Dave Wiegand himself?
Oh boy, what is there to, let's see, how do I begin? Yeah, Dave is one of the best Scrabble players. He's probably the best Scrabble player in the United States and one of the best in the world. He's especially known for having really, really deep, comprehensive knowledge of the words. The basic Scrabble dictionary that you get at a bookstore is generally the words of length 2 letters through 8. Dave knows not only all of those, but a lot of other stuff too. He's got a deep knowledge of the 9 and 10 and even more than that letter words. He knows them really well. He anagrams them and finds them really well. He just plays a really aggressive, high-scoring brand of Scrabble that is really hard to beat. And that's been illustrated pretty well by the performance he's having right now against Kevin, putting up almost 500 points. This is just kind of par for the course with Dave. He plays like this a lot.
Yeah, no stranger to success at these major tournaments. I know he's won the North American Championship before in the NWL lexicon, I believe, and switched over to Collins well over a decade ago and has been nothing but a beast in that lexicon as well. One of the best players, if not the best player in North America, I think is something nobody will really contest with you about Dave. And the craziest part about Dave is he goes off even harder after hours. So if you want to see those, you need to get yourself out to a Scrabble tournament, and you can get some Dave Wiegand stories of your own. Victory here. Dave was already 1 game up on the field. Kevin is in second place right now, the 1 player a game behind him. So Dave is going to go up 2 games and a gazillion spread points on the field victory. And with just 7 games to go, he's going to need an absolute meltdown, or he's all but cemented himself a spot in tomorrow's 4-player finals or semifinals and then finals.
Yeah, so 4 players advance to the playoffs after today's games, and Dave is in pretty good shape to make the top 4. He's going to be 13-4 after he wins this game. There will be nobody else at 13 or even 12 wins. Kevin will be at 11, and then currently 10-6 and playing are Colton Kaler and John O'Loughlin, who are currently 3rd place and 4th. Right now, we're going to have updates when we can. Right now, we got John playing Rob Rubinski on table 2 and Colton playing Brad Whitmarsh on table 3. We'll try to update you on those games when we can. I think they're still in progress as of now. Yeah, Wonder 15 mentioning in chat that this is shades of World Cup 2022 when he was up a zillion games. Yeah, so last year, the big Coco Championship was the World Cup event in Naperville, Illinois, with $10,000 at stake, and Dave indeed won that $10,000 top prize, and he won it in pretty dominating fashion. He was like 4 games ahead of the entire field for most of the way. He slipped up a little bit, lost a couple of games toward the end of the tournament, and a few players, including Mr. Wonder 15 here, started to catch up, but then Dave just buried everybody on the final morning again and took home the 10 grand. So we'll see if there's a little slip up on the final day for Dave today, like there was last year, but it all worked out for him in the end last year, and it may well end up well for him this year if he keeps playing this well.
Chat pointing out as well that because this is a Coco event using the Coco rating systems, the point differential or spread also impacts your Scrabble rating. So Dave not only going to put himself 2 games and 1,000,000 spread points on the field, but he's going to get a lot of rating points from this win as well.
Yeah, it just surprised nobody that according to the Coco rating system, Dave is the top player in North America. His rating entering this tournament was 2132. Second place is Adam Logan at 2092, and then David Eldar and that 115 guy is in 6th place at 2017. So, yeah, Dave is atop North America in, most rating systems, ours included. I'll just put it that way.
I know we'd like to keep the focus on this tournament here and what's going on, but because this game sucks so much, I'm going to plug another major Coco event that is up and coming pretty soon. It is the best Scrabble tournament of the year, hands down. Dave Wiegand will go off at this one as well, both at the Scrabble board and not at the Scrabble board. It is over Martin Luther King weekend in January. It'll be in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it is the most awesome tournament. If you're thinking about maybe checking out Scrabble, you want to meet some of these guys and have a drink with them afterwards on Bourbon Street, that would be an awesome tournament to go to. And the Collins Field, correct me if I'm wrong, Evans, is slated to have 2 divisions, both an expert division and a light division for those maybe wading into the waters who don't want to get absolutely slaughtered by Dave Wiegand at their first tournament. So for those of you just wandering in from a Wanderer or Will Anderson YouTube video, check that out, man. Flights are cheap right now. I just booked my hotel. I will be there. We'll have streams set up. We'll have probably 100+ players all in New Orleans for a 3-day Scrabble tournament. And you should get your name on the list for the Crescent City Cup. Google it, find some more information, and I'm sure somebody can drop something in chat for you to get you extra info there. But Evans is going to be there, unfortunately. I will be there, unfortunately. And some of these awesome players will be there as well.
Both guys you see on your screen right now, Dave and Kevin, will be there. Tentatively, Adam Logan is on the player list, which is pretty exciting. He's also one of the top players in the world. He has not paid up yet, but he's on the list as a tentative player. Austin Shin is going to be there. Yeah, like you mentioned, myself. You can come wallop me because I'm super rusty.
Yeah, Austin Shin is freaking awesome as well. And the tournament put on by Austin's better half and mother-in-law, Lindsay Shin and Lila Crotty, as well as the brainpower of Kate Fukawa Connolly. I think kind of a 3-person team to put that together, but awesome tournament. Check it out. Think about registering. Ask for that time off. We'll see y'all in New Orleans, won't we?
We gotta.
Dave Bingalore. Bingo-er. That's what Dave has been this game.
Bingoer. That's great.
Yeah. He knows we're making jokes about him right now. Over Bing.
Lots of fun stuff here.
He's even got Dr. Bing down from the D.
Ooh, there you go.
But it's got
yeah, Dr. Bing is blocked.
But he's going to score 600 this game pretty easily.
Looks like it.
I really wish we could offer a little bit more in terms of analysis, but in Scrabble, sometimes you just lose, especially when you play someone as good as Dave Wiegand. And that's what we've seen here, folks. We will have some more intense games that aren't decided on turn 4 for you, I promise.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that when you're just hopelessly losing, you want to just kind of stop trying so you can conserve brain power. That's kind of what I'm doing as a commentator as well. Like, I don't want to analyze really deeply a game that's just like this stupid. So I'm just going to kind of relax, make some jokes with you, and just, wait till we get a more exciting game in the next round.
The last time that I recommended any play was me saying it'd be cute if Kevin Fraley played Orby here and opened a triple to breathe some life. And as soon as You Social came down, I just stopped talking. I have nothing to offer. Don't listen to me. I'm terrible.
I'm glad that everybody else is learning the things that I already knew about you being terrible. I see
Yeah, I
Benji
mean,
Scrabble in chat asking copy pasta time, question mark. The answer to that is no, it is never copy pasta time. Go home, Benji.
never copy pasta time. You've heard it
Never.
here, folks. I think it's actually written in the Cocoa Constitution.
That's right, absolutely. Or if it's not, I'll get a pencil and write it in there.
Yeah, you are the dude who does stuff. So if someone's going to make that happen, it sounds like it's your jurisdiction, right?
Sure, I guess. I don't know. I see the Adam in the chat says that Boinger is the play here to make more springy.
Oh, Will is saying he wants to make a chat about the time I made his brain, or a video about the time I made his brain explode. Yeah, I think that was like the first game we played. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, please, please.
Sounds like a fun story.
And then do another
Oh
video
no.
about the time you absolutely ended my life because I couldn't read my tracking because it was like 45 degrees in the playing room, and just I've never had a fatality so hard over the Scrabble board.
Sounds like quite the story.
Yeah, Will opened a triple line. I tried to block it, and he played a 9-letter triple triple through my block and won the game when he was down 150 the entire time. I never played another game of Scrabble.
At least not well.
Dave, I think, is set up exactly what we're thinking. Boring on his rack. That'll play next to Dazer and be a nice way to summarize our thoughts on this game. But he's going to make sure he finds his correct out into sequence. Every spread point matters.
I think for a second he was showing us bonering. Oh, he's actually playing boner. Okay.
Oh, very good. Phonies. Oh, he's going to set up GI and QI as a really nice out. Yep.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
For a bunch of reasons.
Good content in more ways than one. Best play for Kevin here is a little bit tricky to find. It is the word Twier, Twier. Looks like Kevin has arranged his letters in that order. It looks like he's probably found it.
Twier. Oh, yeah, that plays down to the R in Pronist as well. Would block the GI spot. Yep, that's got to be his right end game.
Yeah.
Unless he's got an outplay. I don't think this letter makes anything with, or these 6 letters make anything with an R, right?
Oh, I just got the joke. Good job. Good job.
I missed tinware against you. Yeah.
All right. So wet comes down instead of Twier. And
Thank
it looks
God
like
it's over. Update the scores, Evans. You got lazy on your Quackle, and that's
no, it's the hotel internet lag. I updated them. The final score after Dave plays GI, I would assume it's going to be 602 to 306. He made it.
He did it. 602.
Both of them made it. Dave made it to 600 and Kevin made it to 300. Congratulations to both of them on achieving their goals. It's always good to achieve your goals in life, Matt. You know that?
And I mean, hey, if Dave Wiegand doesn't double you up, that's a moral victory because the man is a beast and a legend. He can make a 32-ounce beer disappear in 2 seconds, and he can make your chances of winning over a Scrabble board disappear in 2 seconds as well, as I think that's how long it took him to play, count, and designate his blank for you social.
Pretty much. Yeah, so final score for 602 to 306 for Dave beating Kevin here. It's going to improve Dave's record to, what is that?
13-4.
13-4. And Kevin's going to stay at 11 wins, and then we're going to have Colton and John giving chase here. I'll take a quick look at the results and see. It looks like John and Colton both won their games, so we're going to have a 13 and 3 11s atop the standings. Kevin, Colton, and John, a very close race for these top spots. And coming up next on the stream is going to be Dave versus John O'Loughlin right here on table 1. So a chance for John to take the leader down a peg if he can play well and draw well and whatnot. Looking forward to that matchup for sure between 2 great players, Dave Wiegand and John O'Loughlin.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. A lot of history between those players, a lot of good games, a lot of tight tournament finishes between the two, and they'll continue writing their own history in the next game.
Most definitely. All right, I think we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a few minutes with round number 2. So we'll talk to you guys real soon. Take it easy.
All right, take it easy, folks.